Can you name the Taylor Swift songs that are just one word? There are 51 Taylor Swift songs
51?
that just have one word.
Me.
I did that one.
Me, mine, mean, timeless, ours, Ronan, babe.
These are all the ones we've already done.
3 in Reputation.
Untouchable!
You're making me superstar.
Breathe.
Superstar,
Is that
12,
it?
10, 9,
Give me a new one.
8, 7.
Mirrorball!
I'm not going to spell it right in time.
What's up, everybody? Welcome to this week's episode of Successfully Unsigned, professional music advice from unprofessionals. This week's episode is amazing. We have a gift for you. We always reference Taylor Swift on the show, but now we have a guest that can finally match the energy. We had Swift artists on the show this week. Follow them at Swift Artists. I will link their Instagrams below. Please follow them, show them some love. This episode, we talk about Isabel's writing. She does a lot of songwriting, as well as this community of Swift artists that helps uplift and give a platform to the Swifties of the Nashville community. I think you'll get a lot out of this episode. We had some great conversation and also some really fun moments. But as always, hit the like button, subscribe, join this community that we're building together with all of these amazing artists. Please follow us on Instagram, TikTok. We're everywhere now. You guys know the drill. With all that being said, please enjoy the show.
Round 2.
There you go.
I think you should do what you did before, though. That was really good.
Are you ready for it?
Yeah.
But I said it. Was it already
You said that
recording?
one more.
That
like
was
It was already recording, I
For the
guess.
music,
Yeah.
Can we copy paste?
Yeah.
Are you
Yeah.
ready for it? I said it better before.
You did say it.
Are you ready for it?
Now
That's
you're
like a new
trying.
soundbite I'll put on here
That's
now.
smart, yeah.
Now you're trying.
ready?
Bad.
For it. Are you ready for it?
Welcome to Successfully Unsigned. We are here with Swift artists, aka Isabel and Natalie. Natalie is our mysterious character of the day, and you will have to track down through the FBI to find her. So you're only going to hear her voice, and we have distorted it. Not actually, but you would think that we did. So welcome, guys. I first saw you guys when I went to a Swift Artist showcase. Well, actually, I guess we should start with what is Swift Artists? What does that mean? We have quite the history with Taylor in this podcast. So, I don't know, talk about Swift Artists and what it is, just in general terms first, and we'll get more into the nitty-gritty later.
So, first of all, we need to define what is Taylor Swift. And she
Oh.
is the music industry,
Yeah.
as we all know. Anyway, so here in Nashville and also on planet Earth, there's a huge fandom of Swifties, of people who love and adore Taylor and have so much respect for her and live by her lyrics. And specifically in Nashville, there's a lot of Swifties who are musicians themselves and writers and poets and just all types of artists. And so Swift Artists is a group for promoting independent artists in Nashville who are Swifties, who are just part of the Swiftie community. And we have an Instagram page. It's at Swift Artists. And we promote music. We post like new releases and, you know, encourage people to pre-save new music. And we do like a song of the week, which is like an original song by someone in our group. And we do a cover song of the week, which is one of our artists singing a Taylor Swift song. And one of our favorite things is our live shows, and we hold them on the 13th of the month. And it's not necessarily every month, but we try to do as many months as we can. And at this point, we've done 20 shows so far.
Wow.
And we started about 2 years ago. And so we hold like these writers round style shows. And if you don't know writers round, it's like you all sit in a row, and usually there's like your average writer's round, say like 3 to 5 people on stage at one time. And you go down the line and you sing a song you wrote acoustic. So it's like a very stripped back experience. Mm-hmm. But the difference between Swift Artists and your average writer's round is that we have the Taylor Swift theme. So we do mostly original music, and then each artist does one Taylor Swift cover as well that they connect with. So it's a good way to have like a little sing along, but then also hear original music. So we usually do about like 9 artists every show, and I'm one of them, and I co-host the show with Natalie over there.
Hi.
Bestie gal. And we have a grand old time, and that is who we are.
Yeah, they're a lot of fun.
Patrick.
Okay, well, I was about to explain that.
Okay.
Okay, so another thing that has been controversial that I have talked about is that I don't typically like writers' rounds.
Boo.
I know. Okay, but one thing that I did say, and I've said this to people like privately as well. I was like, I do like Swift artists because it's more of a niche writers' round. I think if you're doing a writers' round, you need to have something that like makes it interesting outside of just songwriting. And we had a whole conversation about it with DJ Anna E. Go check our episode from last week with her. We talked some about writers' rounds, and I did make a formal apology. So if you need my apology again, go back to that episode.
It's on record.
But it's on record.
Yeah.
But I actually do really like Swift artists because it incorporates something, like you said, almost like a sing-along part too, and it's not just okay, we're gonna listen to someone's original music acoustic style, but also we're gonna like have some fun. And the one that I went to, how I heard about it is our friend Becca Tremmel, love Becca, she was on one, and so I went to go support, actually with our good friend Julie Strawbridge as well. She came too, and I was like, oh, this is really cool, this is like a really cool idea. And at some point everyone in one of the rounds sang Love Story, which was fun. And toward the end, Lenny Black, shout out to her too. I love Lenny's music. She was singing Stay, and the audience is really getting, what is it called? I don't know. Is it
All
called
you had
Stay?
To do was stay, I think.
Yeah, that
All
song.
you had to do was stay.
Yeah.
Edit
I don't
that
know.
out.
I don't know the formal title of it. I'm sorry.
Just
All you have to do is stay.
Oh,
all
is
you,
that,
all
okay,
you have to do is stay. Yeah.
Natalie is our if we have any questions surrounding Taylor Swift, she's there to. She's our
I got
encyclopedia.
you. I
Taylor
got
likes
you.
really long, like full statement titles.
Okay,
Like
that
it could have
makes
been just
sense.
"Stay" for somebody else, but there's so many
Well,
songs named "Stay."
I love Lana, who is like the queen of long titles.
Yeah.
Like
Even longer than
ridiculous. But anyway, just I had a really good time that night. So when you guys reach out, I was like, oh, you guys have been on the list to get on the show. So I'm excited that we're finally here doing
Taylor. It
it.
made me so happy when you
Yes,
said that. I was
yes.
like, I didn't know I was on the secret
Oh,
list.
of course. And actually, fun fact, you guys don't know who she is, but I'm going to reveal some information from the FBI. Sorry, but me and Natalie used to have classes together in college, which is really fun. And so I was like, I recognize her from somewhere.
Somewhere, we're not sure where.
Yes.
Somewhere.
And she used to always wear Beats headphones.
Oh, see, no, we're not going to talk about that. That was such a,
Yeah,
checks
I
out.
did
was
not
such
even
a
know this, that you
horrible
guys. I
phase.
did not
It
even know
wasn't.
this.
But hey, it
Everyone
made me
wore,
remember
yeah.
you.
Like, if I didn't have my over-the-head Beats headphones
Oh, yeah.
on, it was a bad day. Like,
Yeah.
I was
It-
never seen without them.
And I remember you. No, I'm just kidding.
Oh, I was about to be like, whoa, okay.
It's you.
Well,
From
and then
5
we-
minutes ago when
Yeah.
I walked up here.
We ran into each other at Swimo Night as well.
Yeah.
And so that was really fun. Swimo Night was so much fun, which we talked about some. And I've met some really great artists through there. So before we get too much more into Swift artists and everything, just what are y'all's origins with music? We'll talk a little bit about your artistry later, but Natalie, if you have any origins with just enjoying music or anything like that as well, I don't know. Have at it.
I love listening to music, and that's about it. I don't sing.
Okay.
I can't sing.
Good summary.
So if a banger comes on in the car, you're not singing to
Oh,
it?
well, like, if no one's around, of course.
Oh, okay.
What about when
So we sing just selectively.
Yeah.
Selectively.
she sang when 60,000 people were around when we were at the Nissan show, the Rain show?
They
I
weren't-
was.
they weren't
Oh, you were at the
listening to
Rain
that
show.
Yeah, she was
That's
at like
really
every
cool.
show ever, but
Oh,
I was
yeah.
just at the Rain show.
Wasn't that the one? Was that last year? What was that one?
Yes.
Yeah, May
Last year.
7th, 2023.
Yes.
A night to remember.
So were
Actually,
you
May
at
8th because it was
multiple?
past midnight.
Of the nights.
Yeah.
Okay.
I went
You were at all three.
to all three Nashville shows, and then I went to opening weekend in Glendale, and the last two in LA.
Yeah.
Oh my
Wow.
goodness.
Yeah.
I remember the one in Nashville. I got caught in some traffic, and it was just
Yeah.
a sea of glitter. Just
Yeah.
there was a
Yeah.
lot of waiting and
Yeah. We Taylor needs to run you your check.
I
Yeah.
know.
'Cause
Run me my
that's
money.
commitment.
The
'cause-
amount of like ticket sales you've given that woman.
I
Oh
know,
my
paying her
goodness.
rent, paying her mortgage.
Her
She
rent.
don't, she don't pay rent. I'm paying her mortgage.
She don't pay
You don't
rent.
pay rent.
Can I ask how many Taylor shows have you been to?
I would have to count.
She
Okay.
doesn't even know.
Like around 26-ish.
wow.
Oh
Something
my
like that.
goodness.
What was your first one?
When she opened for Rascal Flatts, that was my first time seeing her, and I don't count that as a Rascal Flatts concert because I wasn't there to see them.
So what was that like? Oh,
2009.
Nine,
Yeah.
Wow.
When I
Yeah.
first met Natalie, we were working at Ascend Amphitheater, and we had a little name tag, and everyone's name tag said their name and then the first concert they ever went to. And Natalie said Taylor Swift, and that's how I was like, started a conversation with her.
Oh.
And she explained that to me, and I was like, oh my God, this is crazy. You've been to so many shows. We should be besties.
That's crazy.
So that's what happened.
Taylor really should run you. You just need to be
Yeah.
like her personal assistant or something.
Yeah.
Yeah, period. Taylor, if you're listening, like, I can quit my job. It's not a problem.
Yeah, literally. All of it. Taylor sponsor a show. Sponsor Swift artists though, for real.
Yeah.
Come
Yeah, come to a show.
on. Yeah, we'll be getting into that. So, okay, Isabel, then what is your kind of history with music first, and then branch more specifically into Taylor Swift and your history with her?
So I've never admitted this publicly, but when I was a young child, my first dream job was to be a vegetarian veterinarian. And I just thought that was a really extra special type of veterinarian.
Oh.
And then from there, I just had a lot of dream jobs that shifted until
was
it
the
finally
same
got
way.
to musician. I think I wanted to be like a second grade teacher for a while just because I loved second grade.
That's fair.
I wanted to be a horseback rider, but then my parents weren't going to buy me a pony. And then I realized that the homeowner association wouldn't allow me to have a pony in my backyard. Anyway,
That kills it.
so I cried.
Yeah.
But then I discovered actually Miley Cyrus, and I did Rockstar from Hannah Montana for the
That's
school
such a
lip
good
sync
song.
with a group of girlies. And that was the moment I knew. Taylor
Period.
Swift
Like-
reference that I want to do music. But I was like, at that point, I was like, I want to be Hannah Montana.
Yeah.
I'm not going to college. I'm going to be a star when I'm 14, no later. If I miss that deadline, I'm crying at night.
Not during the
So-
day, just at night.
But yeah, I started writing songs around then, and most of them were very much plagiarism because they were all the tune of a Hannah Montana song.
Okay. That's okay.
But I think I wrote my first like good song that I can look back on now and be like, that was pretty good when I was 13.
Okay.
But yeah, I just wrote about like I had this composition notebook, and it was filled with songs about like boys I had a crush on and like how the cool girl was mean to me and stuff. And I would actually like sing them at recess sometimes. And so sometimes some people knew me as like the girl who had like these little songs.
Oh my goodness,
girl
you're
who
like
sings.
elementary
Yeah.
pop star.
Yeah, me and my friend Emily Rish, shout out. We actually, I think we were like a duo at one point for like a talent show.
That's so fun.
But yeah, we wrote some songs together, and then like sometimes we get together at recess and be like, "Who wants to hear our songs?" And there'd be like 3 people.
Yeah. It's called grassroots
And if
marketing right
yeah.
there.
And if anyone in the whole school ever was like, "Oh, I remember this one song," and they knew the title, we were like, "We're famous.
Yeah.
Oh my
We got
goodness.
fans."
That's so fun. I remember in 3rd grade, some of my friends were putting together a play for recess, and I remember like it brought a lot of drama, and I literally was like sobbing during recess. I don't even know over what, but safe to say the play never happened, unfortunately.
Yeah, I wrote plays too, but they never
Oh
happened.
my goodness.
I like organized to get the neighborhood kids to do it, and I was like, "We're gonna do it," and then they're like, "All right." And then I was like, "First rehearsal tomorrow," and they were like, "None of us can come ever. Actually, I'm busy every day."
Maybe they're still out there. Like, come to rehearsal. Come on,
Yeah.
get the play back up.
Yeah.
Show must go on.
But then with Taylor Swift, I remembered the first time I discovered her. And Natalie has a story about the first song she heard too. I remember. We'll get to that. But mine was "Teardrops on My Guitar."
Classic.
And I remember
Such a
hearing
good
it on
one.
the radio, and I actually grew up listening to old, like 90s country, but only on CDs, like my dad's like greatest hits, like Alan Jackson, Tim McGraw, Shania Twain. So I like wasn't discovering new stuff. I wasn't listening to country radio, but I knew that country music. But I would listen to radio stations that were like pop or like soft rock or whatever. But I remember Teardust My Guitar was a crossover hit, so it ended up on one of those stations, and I remember loving it. But I remember clearly picturing her to look totally different than I later found out she looked.
Okay.
I pictured her to look kind of like a 2013 Casey Musgraves.
Okay.
Brunette with bangs. For some reason, I pictured her with like a denim skirt and an American flag shirt.
Okay, that's fair.
Because I remember I was like, this song sounds so country, but it was a crossover hit. But like compared to like Miley Cyrus, I was listening to,
Right.
it seemed so country. But I remember like my friend down the street had a very, very fancy iPod Nano that had a screen. And so she could show music videos, and she showed me this new music video, and I was like, oh, I recognize the song. And then it was like this super blonde, curly-haired 16-year-old.
Oh my goodness.
And
yeah.
that's how I found out what she looked like. I just remember that moment sitting on her front steps and being like, oh my God, I didn't expect her to look like this. But yeah, I love that song. And yeah, that's when I discovered her. And I never went back.
Never went back.
I
Okay.
remember like finding an old journal of mine where I would write like who I had a crush on and who my favorite celebrity was. And I remember updating it, and it's the last one said like it's Selena Gomez. And then the next page was like my favorite person is Taylor Swift. And then it never changed
Oh my goodness.
after that. After the
Well, they're
last
besties,
entry.
so it's okay. Selena
Yeah.
wouldn't mind.
Happy birthday to Selena Gomez.
Yeah.
And my sister, they share a birthday, so I know it's in my head.
That's so funny. I think the first time I ever heard Taylor Swift was Our Song, and it was the first music video I watched on YouTube, I believe. That or the second one. It was Sarah Bareilles' love song. In that one were like the two songs. I was obsessed with Our Song. I always say I'm like Swiftie adjacent because I don't know all the like lesser known songs, but I do love all the popular songs.
What was the one they had like on two stations? One was like it was one song, but they had two mixes, like a
Love
pop
Story?
one. Was it Love Story? There was like a
Maybe.
country one.
There's
and
probably
there
a
was,
lot
like,
of songs, but Love
Yeah.
Story had like two different intros. There was like bum 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 bum,
Yeah,
bum,
yeah.
and then there was like bum bum bana bana, and that was the pop one.
Oh.
Bum, bum, bana, bana.
I low-key forgot about the pop one.
Yeah, she
Yeah.
doesn't have a Taylor's version of that
She
specific
doesn't.
like melody.
Oh yeah.
And mine had a pop mix, and We're Never Ever Getting Back Together had an even countryer mix.
Yeah.
Because it was like
Really?
battling Cruise for the number one. And it needs to go more country too.
Does Bad Blood have a country mix?
No, that would be very.
I don't think
Okay.
that would work.
Well, speaking of Bad Blood, so I almost wore my Hannah Montana shirt because people always like post a picture of Hannah Montana and be like Taylor Swift, but it was dirty. So I was like, what should I wear? Like, I don't have anything related to Taylor Swift. I don't think. I have a Katy Perry shirt. Okay, and
Ooh,
so
swish, swish, bish.
so I was like, okay, Bad Blood, and their blood is good now, right?
I'm so happy about that.
Yes, I love Katy Perry. I think she's an amazing artist. But it's not about Katy Perry. But I was like, well, it's close enough.
You did
not-
what you had to do.
Yeah.
I did what I had to do. Yeah, and it's still referencing a song. So
Yeah. And let's hear Natalie.
Yeah, I wanna
when
hear-
she discovered Taylor. I remember.
So I discovered Taylor when my dad and I were in the car driving to Target. And I was in the passenger seat, and Stay Beautiful came on. And I really, really loved the song. So I was like, no, Dad, like we can't go into Target until the song is over. So I made my dad stay in the car until the song was over. And that's when I first discovered her. But then a year later, the You Belong With Me music video came out. And I was at my grandparents' house on demand. No one knows what that is anymore because, like, what is that? We use streaming now. But I was on demand scrolling through the music videos, and then I saw her name again, and it was Taylor Swift, You Belong With Me. So I watched it, and I fell in love with that music video, and then watched it like 100 more times in a row. And then that's how I became a Swiftie.
I love it.
So music videos really
Yeah.
Yeah.
hammered it home for you guys, huh?
Oh,
Yeah.
one thing I thought was so funny about buying my first Taylor Swift CD. I bought it as a present for my sister, birthday or Christmas or something. And I remember, like, you know how when you were a teenager or like a tween, you kind of just like dramatically gaze out the window a lot and you look emotional.
Oh,
and
I still
moody.
do that.
Yeah.
Well, I remember I did that too. But I guess my sister was like dramatically gazing out the window a little too much, because my mom's response to when I told my mom I wanted to buy my sister the CD, Taylor Swift, and my mom was like, "Who's Taylor Swift?" And I go, "Oh, she has these songs, Should Have Said No and Teardrops on My Guitar." My mom was like, "Teardrops on My Guitar, another sad song." She goes, "I don't think your sister needs any more sad songs. I think she has a secret sorrow."
A secret sorrow.
I was like, "Mom, because she's gazing out the window."
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
I remember that.
That's a song in of itself right there.
That's
I just know. I feel
wild.
like my sister and I like just had like resting sad faces.
Yeah.
Sometimes I remember my mom like pointing it out and being like, "Are y'all good?"
Yo, good.
So my mom was like, "Are you sure she needs a sad song?" And I remember I was like, "Oh, there's probably happy songs on here too." And then
And
there
there
was.
were.
You know,
Well,
our
there
song.
were.
And you'd be listening to a song, you'd be looking out the window. And then,
Yeah.
like, if my parents were, like, intrusive, so they'd be listening to the radio, and they'd still, like, flag me down. I'd be listening to my headphones, and they'd be like, "It's too loud." I'm like,
Yeah.
"Turn up the radio."
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's-
Yeah. When we
not-
went on road trips, like my siblings and I would always put our headphones in. My parents would always be like, "Oh, they're just plugged in back there.
Yeah. And they look
They don't
back
want
at
to talk
you.
about history with their father."
They look back at you, and all you can see is them
Sorry,
mouthing to you.
Dad.
They're just like,
Yeah.
I'm like, you can't.
Yeah.
I can't hear you.
Sometimes though, you pause the music because you can tell like they're
They're
talking about
about
some
to.
tea and
Yeah.
or like and you just eavesdrop.
Yeah.
I still would do that.
Man, I'm not alone.
Oh,
do that
absolutely.
too?
Oh, I know those headphones weren't always
Oh,
on
the
when you
Beats
had
headphones
one.
were not ever.
Yeah.
What do you mean?
Yeah, and I remember one thing about Taylor, like, you relate her music to your own life, even if you're 9, you know?
Yeah,
And
she's a very good way of doing that. Like, very good songwriter.
Like, because I remember thinking, like, you know, I had a crush on James, and on Thursday he had a conversation with me, and on Friday he had a conversation with Emily, and I'm sitting here listening like, "I was there when you said forever and always." Like, gazing out the window.
Gazing out the window. Sorry, Mom. Sorry, Mom. Okay. Also, I want to ask, like, okay, I saw, like I said, you were born in Belgium.
I was born, and I was in Belgium.
What, like, your parents on vacation or something? Or was it just...
No,
they lived there?
I'm a military baby. My dad was in the army.
Oh, okay. That makes sense. But you mostly grew up in New York, right?
Yes. So I only lived in Belgium for a period in which I do not remember, because
Okay.
I moved to the U.S. when I was about, I think, 6 months, but I don't remember because I was baby.
Mhm.
And we moved to Virginia, and I was there for about, I think, 2 years-ish.
Okay.
And I have like some of my earliest memories are like that move when we first got to New York, and I have a very faint memory of being in Virginia, and I feel like my family doesn't believe me that I have this memory. It's not very vivid. I just remember having a tree in the front yard, and my brother and sister would climb it, and I would be like, "I want to climb it," and they wouldn't let me climb it, and it was because I was 2.
Mm-hmm.
But I just remember a feeling of like anger and jealousy that I wasn't allowed to climb the tree. But I don't really remember anything else from Virginia. And then we moved to New York, and that's pretty much all I know from then.
I think you can have memories. I have a memory of when I was like 2 or 3 being on South Padre Island and like picking up seashells with my brother and like seeing one of those stores that have like a shark mouth with an entrance
Yeah.
and being like, that's crazy.
Yeah. I have a couple very like vague memories that are just kind of funny and like hard to explain, but they're just like in the back of my mind.
So you eventually moved from there to Memphis for music business, right?
Yes. So yeah, like I still had a permanent address in New York, and it's the address that my parents are still at now.
And say the address.
Because I grew up. Oh my goodness. 1989 Swift
1989.
Lane, Cornelia Street, actually.
Oh, I didn't know that reference.
What were we talking about? Oh yeah.
Oh,
So
Memphis.
I went to college in Memphis.
Okay.
So I actually wanted to go to college in Nashville. I almost went to Belmont, and that was my dream school for so long, and I had never been there, just seen like online and stuff, and it looked great. And I applied to a couple other schools around in Tennessee just for chucks.
Mm-hmm.
But I think like I guess like my family and stuff like kind of expected me to go to a New York State school because my brother and sister did, and also like, you know, cost and whatnot. But I remember saying like, I'm going to Nashville for college, or I'm just going to Nashville.
Gotcha.
My parents were like, "Oh, I don't agree with that."
Gotcha.
But I didn't end up going to Nashville. But like technically I did because I went to Memphis and I could take trips to Nashville. We took field trips. I went to conferences and things. But I knew I didn't want to go to school in New York. I was like, I'm just sick of that state.
Gotcha.
I have a song called New York and I where I say like New York and I are growing quite apart. It'll come out eventually.
But what about Welcome to New York? It's been waiting
Welcome
for you.
to New York. It's like how Stay, Stay, Stay is it right before or right after We Are Never Ever Getting Back Together on the track list?
Don't let us down, Natalie.
I don't know, but it's like that contrast, you know?
Yeah.
I was like, those
gotcha.
two songs can be back to back.
Oh, I gotcha.
It's like,
Okay.
we are never, ever, ever
I'm pretty sure it's
getting
before.
back together. And it's like, I think that it's best if we both stay.
So where'd you go to school in Memphis?
The University of Memphis.
My sister went there. I was born in
Wait,
Memphis.
what?
Yeah, I was
I
born
didn't
in
know this.
Memphis. Lived there first 8 years of my life, but my sister lived
Who's
there
your
for
sister?
13 years. Oh, she was there in like 2007. So.
Oh, well, maybe she's a legend.
No, I'm pretty sure
I'm
she
not gonna know
like.
her.
Sorry, Megan. Pretty sure she failed out.
The
so.
Legend of Megan. I've heard of the Legend of Megan.
Well, also I'm glad you like didn't get stabbed or anything because she told me there was like a lot of stabbings. there.
Oh, actually,
She's like,
no, I didn't-
actually,
I
here's
didn't
like
get
stab wounds.
no, I didn't get stabbed. But one thing that happened that my family's gonna find out this now on the podcast. I never told them because I was afraid they would think it's so unsafe and like move me home. But it didn't happen to me. It was something I just witnessed. I was up in my dorm and I was like meeting with a group of kids because we were in a group project and we were actually making a song and we were trying to come up with like our group name. But we just like looked out the window and we saw somebody get shot right outside of our dorm.
Oh my goodness.
And it ended up, it wasn't a student. It was like a rapper in a gang and it was like a hit and run and there was like some beef rivalry. We didn't know really the story, but a car drove by and shot this guy who was walking. He was actually running, trying to get into the dorm because he was running for safety, but he didn't have a student ID and they didn't let him in because he was like frantic. So he got shot, but I think he lived. It was like in his leg or something. But the
That's
one thing that
crazy.
stuck with me, like still to this day, it wasn't even like that. And then like the ambulance coming, whatever. I remember this image of like this little, I hate to be derogatory, but frat boy was walking by, and was just texting. Walked into the dorm, did not notice that there was a guy bleeding out on the ground next to him in an ambulance
Oh
on the
my
other side.
goodness.
Did not look up. Like I remember that stuck with me about like the times we're in, you know? And then I remember that I was up at the window seeing that happen with my project group, and we named ourselves Suspect 17.
Yeah.
Because we were like, it was, I forget if it was like 9:17 p.m. or something,
Oh,
but we
okay.
like witnessed a crime. So we're like
That's
suspects.
wild. Oh my goodness. Yeah. Don't mess with Memphis. All I'm
Yeah.
gonna say.
So
okay.
that happened.
On that
Mom.
note, we're gonna take a quick break. Hopefully not get shot, and we'll be right back. Welcome back. Okay, so continuing on, Natalie, like, are you from around here?
So I'm originally from Maryland,
Okay.
but I don't really remember living there as a kid. My parents moved here in 2003, and then shortly later they got divorced. So my mom was living in Franklin, and my dad was in Brentwood.
Okay.
So I really don't remember my parents being together,
Okay.
which is fine. And if from preschool up until middle school, I was going to school here. But in 2011, I think it was, my mom decided to move back. I'm pretty sure, did I get that year right? At some point, my mom decided to move back to Maryland. So she
Okay.
moved back to Maryland. I finished middle school here. And then, yeah, it was 2011. Because then in 2012, I went to high school in Maryland. And I hated it. So I came back here for college. And then I've been
Gotcha.
here ever since. So I've lived here for most of my life, minus high school. But during high school, I was traveling every month back and forth so I could see my dad.
Right.
Gotcha.
So that was cool. I was traveling every month.
Yeah.
I was on Southwest A-list.
Go.
If you know, you know. And then, yeah, for college, I moved back here and went to MTSU. And then I've been here since then.
Nice. Okay.
And yeah.
And you're not involved in the music industry at all? No?
I
Okay.
want to do film or photography or something,
Okay, yeah.
something in that or marketing. But when it comes to like artistry, no.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It totally makes sense. It's okay. I would love to do music, but I don't have the drive for it or anything.
Yeah.
So
You don't really have a rhythm either.
yeah, that too. Actually,
Yeah, that's
I
important.
You
don't.
have the drive for this, though.
I do have the drive for this. Yeah.
Yeah.
Go follow us, please. Okay. Also, I did want to ask too. You guys are talking about her surprise songs on the Eras tour. How many Eras tour shows have you been to? Just the one?
Uno.
Okay. And you've been to how many again? 5?
7.
Ooh,
Flex.
that's crazy still.
I
What
did
is
my
your favorite
peak at
surprise song
7.
that you've witnessed?
That I got.
Yeah.
So I'm looking at my list now. I'm sorry. Like, my memory is so bad when it comes to, like, I'm not that person that can be like, oh, I was at this show and got these surprise songs. Like, I can't. My brain does not remember, and that's
I think I know
horrible.
which songs you got, and I wasn't
But
even there.
I guess my most memorable night would be the night she announced Speak Now, Taylor's version, because that Speak Now has always been my favorite album of hers.
Okay.
And that night she sang Sparks Fly, and I know she sang Sparks Fly, and Teardrops on My Guitar.
Okay.
That was also the night she had Phoebe come out for Nothing New, which
Yeah,
was
the
cool.
first time.
So
Okay.
yeah, my favorite was probably Speak Now, and then I was also there when she announced 1989 Taylor's version.
Oh my goodness, you got like all the big shows.
She's always there.
Not always.
Not always. You're like Taylor, not always. But I can be at everyone.
I can be
If.
if you hit me up.
Yeah, Natalie will always remember Speak Now announcement and Teardrops on My Guitar, and I will always remember that night as well because I was sitting a couple miles away on my futon,
Oh yeah.
holding back tears.
Watching the grainy live stream.
Yeah, because Teardrops on My Guitar was the first Taylor song I ever heard, and I really wanted that one.
Oh.
And I'm still
that stinks.
so angry at Taylor that she's played it twice, I think, on the Eras Tour, a surprise song, both on piano. Teardrops on My Guitar
Oh, I didn't even
on
think of
piano?
that.
It's not right.
What are you doing? Okay. And then
How long
and
have
now
you been
Speak
waiting
Now.
to pull that?
Dude, I've been waiting so long.
You're gay.
Oh yeah, I forget
I
you
can't hear it. Yeah, I
Love,
can't hear
love,
it.
love.
Also, I mean, I've never been to the Eras Tour except the movie, but
Fake.
I know. I'm sorry. Sorry.
All you are is mean.
But didn't she recently do Crazier?
She
Oh my God,
did.
yes!
We did not even know that was an option. Like now, you always find your way back home is an option, so I'm gonna need her to do it.
Yes, I love that song so much. I recently rewatched the Hannah Montana movie for like circling back to Hannah Montana for the first time in a long time, and I forgot that song, and I was like, oh, this song's good.
And a lot of
Actually-
people don't know Taylor wrote that song. And I have been begging for her to make a Taylor's version of that song forever. Because
Oh.
Taylor wrote You'll Always Find Your Way Back Home.
Yeah.
And
I
a
didn't
lot
know
of
she
people
wrote
don't
that.
know that.
Yeah,
I did not know she wrote that.
She wrote that song.
That's such a good song,
And
too.
If This Was a Movie with Martin Johnson of Boys Like Girls. You know him?
Okay.
And I actually got to meet him and thank him personally for those two songs. I ran into him at a show at Bridgestone Arena.
Oh my
Actually,
goodness.
so this is kind of a long story to segue, but I went to college with a band called the band Camino, and I remember driving in the middle of a tornado from Memphis to Nashville to see them play their first arena. They were opening for Dan and Shay, and they had previously toured with the Night Game, which was Martin Johnson's another project he did before the Boys Like Girls got back together recently, and I knew they knew each other. And I'm up in the literal nosebleeds, the very last row, and one of the guys from the band I knew was there because he was opening, whatever. But I forget if it was, I think it was before the show or maybe between the opener and the headliner, I forget. But there was the lights were on and I could see people walking down there, and I saw the guy I knew from the band walking around with some guy on crutches, and I was way back there. I didn't even have my glasses on. I need glasses for distance, and I was like, that is one Martin Johnson looking. And I looked up Martin Johnson's Instagram, and the last post was an X-ray.
Oh my goodness.
And I was like, that's him. So I
That's so cool.
beelined it down there at the end of the show, and I was like, excuse me, I'm a big fan of your work. And it was March 2020, and it was I think that was the last show, or the next show was the last one on that tour before the entire tour was canceled,
Oh
and
my
everything was
goodness.
canceled and everyone.
Wow.
But I remember because instead of shaking hands, we did an elbow bump, and he was so sweet, and he called me honey and whatever. and it was great interaction.
Thank you so much, Martin.
But this is a Taylor Swift show, not Martin Johnson.
Oh,
and we will not
okay.
be focusing on any man.
And that's on period.
But I love your work.
Just me and David just disappear.
Yeah.
Okay, so back to Swift artists, which I guess we really should be talking about. So I think this is like a really great time. Like, I think you started it at the perfect time because Taylor Swift is like she was already like on top, but she is like on top right now. Like, no one is doing it like Taylor right now.
Yeah.
Love her or hate her, like you can't deny that. So I think it's a really cool idea. So I know you elaborated on the idea at the beginning a lot, but is there anything else that you wanted to say about it?
Well, why don't I explain like how I got the idea to start it? So when I was in college, I used to go to these conferences in Nashville where we took field trips. This conference, Music Biz, which happens every May. And it's at like one of the hotels downtown, varies year to year. But I used to go to them and like as a student and try to get internships and things.
Mm-hmm.
And after I graduated, like I no longer qualified for the student discount. It was like this super expensive conference. But I got to go after I graduated one year because like some random lady on Facebook posted about like $1,000 discount code.
Whoa.
So I got to take it again.
That is expensive. Oh my goodness.
And I went to it again and I was like trying to find an internship or something. But I didn't. I got something even better than an internship. I got an idea. But I remember sitting in on a panel. About like the importance of fandom.
Mm-hmm.
And there was a woman there who worked for, I think the brand is called, I need a fact check, but I think it's called Jonas Media. And it's like Kevin Jonas Sr.'s brand.
Oh, okay.
And she was talking with somebody who worked for Miley Cyrus, and they both got their start because they had like a Jonas Brothers fan account and a Miley Cyrus fan account, and they ended up like getting discovered by the team and picked to like work for those artists.
Oh, that's so
and I think
cool.
also, I do not like he who shall not be named, Scooty Scoot Scoot, but Jackie Augustus was there, and she worked for a while for SB Projects. I think she works for Instagram now, but she had like a Justin Bieber fan account when she was like a tween.
Oh my goodness.
And then as he was blowing up, like she got a job to work for them or whatever.
Okay.
But we do not endorse Scooty Scoot. We do not. I actually saw him speak at one of those conferences before it all went down. So I like with Taylor, I had like somewhat of respect for him, and he was like talking about gun control, and he won the humanitarian award. Can you believe?
I didn't know that he worked with. I honestly don't know much about him. I know who you're talking about, but I didn't know he worked with Taylor.
Well,
I guess I knew he worked with Justin, right?
He didn't work with Taylor.
Okay.
He worked against her basically, but he like tried to. I mean, it's a long story, but he bought all her music out from under her. It was like her music was sold away without her permission by Scott Borchetta. He sold it to Scooter Braun, and Scooter Braun had. It wasn't really directly him, but like his clients really bullied Taylor Swift throughout her career.
Okay.
Like Justin and Kanye West and
Scott knew that she did not like Scooter.
Yeah.
When he sold it to, and that's why she's doing all the Taylor's versions now.
Okay.
Yeah. And Scooter will say like, "Oh, I was looking forward to working with Taylor," but what he means by that is he was looking forward to owning her and profiting off of all her work that he had like really been against before. Yeah, so we'll get into that. But like, Scooter Braun has done some great things before. Like he was part of the One Love Manchester concert and stuff, so that's why he was there accepting an award.
Oh, okay,
but,
yeah.
But yeah, I remember like him being part of that conference or whatever. But it was like before everything went down, and now I have a very tainted view in retrospect.
Gotcha.
Of him as character. But off topic, we will not be talking about Scooty Scoot. He does not deserve our time. But anyway, I was at a panel. And they talked about the importance of fandom. And I was thinking, like, I'm part of the Taylor Swift fandom. How can I use this to maybe promote my music or maybe bring people together and, like, make a connection? Because I was like, there's lots of people in this town who, number one, do music, and number two, love Taylor Swift. Mm-hmm. And at that point, I had, like, a secret fan account that I still have and I will not be elaborating on. And but I was like, and like a lot of people, like I posted about my music on that fan account, and a lot of people I didn't know who loved Taylor Swift like took interest and would DM me, be like, oh, I love this song, like you're a great writer, I can see like Taylor's influence and stuff. So I decided to make the group Swift Artists, and I had this dream all along to be able to do live shows and stuff, but I was like, it's not gonna happen. So I just like made an Instagram page, and I was like, oh, I'll make playlists and post about people's songs, because if you start like a platform or like any type of, like I start a group, I'm like, why would someone follow this? Like, what's in it for them? You know, like, why would someone help me and like want to listen to my music if I'm not like sharing theirs and stuff? So I was like, I have to find a way to get people involved in a way that would benefit them. So I was like, I'm going to share other people's music. I'm going to help raise awareness for our underground artists and share their new music and blah, 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 you know? So I ended up just posting it in a couple like industry Facebook groups and being like, hi, I'm so-and-so and I love Taylor Swift and blah, blah, blah. And I wanted to create this group, and I got like, I think I got 50, 60 submissions in like 2 days. And so amazing. I just made a Google form, and people filled out their name, contact information, their artist name, and just a couple things about like why they love Taylor Swift, and then shared their music so I could listen to it. And I asked if they were local, because I was hoping on doing some shows. And the crazy thing is, I started that group. I remember I launched it on the 13th. It was May 13th, I believe. And then we had our very first show August 13th.
Did you like wait till the 13th to do it?
Yep.
That's funny.
And I launched it. We had the show August 13th. And Natalie got involved around the first show.
Okay.
I remember her coming to it, and then she was like, we should be co-hosts and stuff for the rest of the shows. So that's what happened there. But it's funny because I remember like I did not really know any of these people who submitted their work. They were just like people, and not all of them were Nashville. We have had submissions from all over the world. But I remember like asking some people from Nashville if they would maybe be interested in a performance. I remember messaging them and saying like, I just emailed you about a possible performance opportunity. And every single one that I asked for that first show said yes and did the show.
That's
and
amazing.
It went so well, and it was so exciting. And since then we've had our furthest Swift artist who traveled came from Malaysia. And she's actually been here for 2 different shows. Her name's Amrita Soon.
Oh my goodness.
She's incredible. She's like very like acoustic, like kind of like Fearless era Taylor with like Maisie Peters sprinkled in.
Okay. Yep.
She's incredible. And then we have a lot. I mean, a lot of the international submissions we have, like they can't actually make it to a live show. It makes sense, but we feature their music. We've had submissions from Berlin, UK, and then a lot of people within the US. As well. But yeah, and we love our Nashville folks, but we love a good tourist.
Yeah. No, and that's a really big reason why I wanted to have you guys on, just because it's kind of very similar to our show of wanting to highlight more, you know, your next favorite artist that before they make it big, right? And
up and coming artists.
Yeah, up and coming artists, and just, you know, people for the little guys. And so I really appreciated it. And also, shout out to you guys, because I just remembered you guys posted our podcast for like I forget what it was called.
Oh, it was like our favorite podcast.
Yeah, something like that. So thank you guys. Appreciate the little shout out.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I just really appreciate like what you guys are doing to highlight artists. I didn't realize you had outreach like that far overseas and everything. Like that's really, really special that you've been able to create this community just online. And I mean, that's literally proving the point of the conference of the power of fandom, right? So that's really special. Are you in most of the showcases?
Yeah, I've actually performed in every single one of them.
That's
and
so fun.
I guess I sort of like MC it as well, but I am in one of the rounds each day.
Okay. And so what are y'all's roles in the Swift artist sphere? Like what roles do you guys take?
It's an oligarchy, and we I don't know. We're like, I guess I'm like the founder.
Okay.
She's the CEO.
Okay.
Yeah. And then what does that make you?
Oh.
The host. The co-host. The co-founder. I don't know.
I want to say CFO, but our shows are free.
Yeah.
There was no finances.
She's district manager. She's right under.
I'm HR.
There you go.
Oh, she's the photographer. That's a very important part
Okay.
as well.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
that
she
makes
takes the
sense,
great
obviously.
pictures and a lot of video clips because we like to share content with our artists and be able to post about the show and share
Yes.
highlights. But it's
Oh,
also
yeah.
good for the artists to have clips of themselves when they're submitting to perform places
Yeah.
or even just for the gram, to show that they're an artist. So
Yeah. And you guys do even like at the end of the year, you do like you do like awards, right?
oh yeah.
Yeah.
I remember I was just like thinking we should do. I just remember talking to Natalie about it one day. I was like, we should do something to wrap the year up and like, because we have song of the week, cover of the week.
Yes.
But we never had anything for like album, EP. And it's honestly because there's not one out every week by someone
Right,
we know
right.
or are connected with. So yeah, like there's a lot to come throughout the year. There's like music videos and different categories that we don't have something for every week.
Mm-hmm.
So we started doing it like of the year. So we have song of the year, cover of the year, music video of the year, album, EP.
Yeah.
Different thing like that. And then it's like a way we can have, it's like the Grammys for Swift artists. But it's like, it's just fun. I don't
Yes.
know.
Yeah.
It's a
And-
good recognition.
And shout out, and I mentioned Becca Trimmel earlier, which they featured her, and they also have featured Missy Ecker, which I know she was on the end of the year awards for her song that's literally called Taylor. I love
Yeah.
that song.
Yeah.
Like that's such a
Yeah,
good song.
shout out Missy. Every so often we get a submission we get a lot of incredible submissions, but sometimes we get one that's like made for our group.
Yeah.
So it's like a perfect Taylor Swift theme song. And we
Yes.
have, I think there's 3 to come to mind. Taylor by Missy Ecker. And the hook is like, I just want to make Taylor proud.
Yes.
And it's like so relatable about like just going through things we all go through, heartbreak
Mm-hmm.
and different things, and looking at it in the sense of like kind of like what would Taylor Swift do in this position, and like she references a lot of song titles and lyrics and things, and it's so beautiful and amazing, and y'all should check it out. And
yes,
then
Go
another,
Shoot Taylor by Missy Ecker.
yeah,
So
another
good.
one I'm thinking of is Tailor Made by Allison Asarch. I hope I
that's
say
a-
that right.
That's a good title.
But yeah, it's a country song about how she was tailor made to be like the artist she is today, and how she first stepped up on stage because she heard Taylor's music. And one other one that I really want to shout out. It's actually not just a song, a whole EP. Laura Marie had a whole EP put out called Using My Words, and she made it based on the track titles of the Tortured Poets Department before the Tortured Poets Department came out. So we had only had the track list and no songs like released.
Oh wow.
So she picked a couple different titles and made her own songs, and they were so incredible. I Can Do It With a Broken Heart was one of my favorites, and it was like pretty sad and very different than the song ended up being. I mean, the song is still sad, but it's super upbeat. But her song was like, I'm trying to remember the lyrics. It goes like, I forget the whole line, but the main hook line is like, anything you can do, I can do better, and I can do it with a broken heart. It was so beautiful.
That's really cool.
Yeah.
I really like that you like actively listen to the songs and remember the artists, and I like we try and be the same way of any artist that we are featuring, or even just we have like a new Music Tuesday that we do that we make sure that we actively go listen to them, and same with like any performances or anything. It makes the artist, I mean, every artist just wants to feel special and like know like, oh my gosh, people are actually listening. So it's really important that you guys do that.
They want to know they're not just like being featured on a podcast. They want to know that like we support them actually.
Yes.
And, like, in their shows and their new music and all that. So
Yes. I also wanted to, you had a little article on Canvas Rebel, so I pulled a couple screenshots from that. You said, I'm still working on building my audience as artists. That process never seems to end, even for those millions of followers. With my Swift Artist page, I gained my audience by involving those who were already tuned in. I kept them interested and grabbed the attention of their friends and followers. Swift Artist is not just about me or about Taylor Swift. It's about the artist community. Not just in Nashville, where we are based, but internationally as well. We've had submissions all over the U.S. and overseas as well. Malaysia, Germany, Singapore, UK, etc. Many out-of-town artists have traveled to Nashville, play a showcase, like you said. On our page, we make sure to highlight the work of our followers by announcing new releases, adding them to playlists, or naming them the song of the week. We jump at the opportunity to congratulate Swift artists on their achievements. We also reach out to and shout out smaller artists that we find other ways beyond just our submission page. We are always looking to discover a new talent to include. So I really enjoyed that too. But can I ask, like, what is the eventual goal, I guess, with Swift Artists, or is it literally just to keep going and highlighting artists?
Yes, to keep going, but I think it would be nice if it got like bigger and more popular. And one thing that like it can be a struggle sometimes is like booking these venues.
Yes.
Because a lot of them are like, who the heck are y'all?
Yeah.
Taylor Swift? Who?
Or they want to charge.
They're like, is Taylor Swift gonna be there? No? I mean, what the heck?
Yeah.
And actually one issue I've encountered in Nashville is because of like licensing laws and stuff. Some venues only allow performers to sing cover songs, and some venues only allow performers to sing original songs, and we always do both.
I did not know that.
Yeah.
So we can't do one that has only one or only the other.
Huh.
Yeah, it's just different like licensing things, because actually like if you don't know this, if you're a songwriter, you should be registered with a performance rights organization. And every time you perform in public, you document that. I'm personally a BMI artist. And every time you perform in public, you document that, where it was and what songs you sang, and you get paid a little bit of money.
Yeah.
I get a check from like the World Trade Center every like 6 months or so, but it's only like $5.
Yeah.
Because I don't do that much. And I'm not famous. But ASMR. Unsuccessful ASMR. But yeah, so, and they get that money from the venue. So as a venue, you have to be registered with one of those organizations, multiple actually, because you could be part of any of them, in order to have live music at your venue.
That's really good advice to know.
Yeah. So like technically,
never known that.
I won't tell, but technically it's like you're not supposed to actually have like house shows, because if you mark that down, that was a public performance, someone's going to come knocking down their door and be like, give us $10.
Right.
Gotcha. Oh my goodness.
But just don't record those ones.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Okay, that's good. That's like really good
And
information
also,
now.
just for like you wanting to like own your songs and stuff, and like making sure everything's good. Copyright is always a good idea, anyways. You know.
We're gonna get more into that tomorrow with our interview with Johnston.
Yes.
Tune in for our next interview. It's gonna be all about the legal stuff.
Oh yeah.
Amazing.
Okay, so what was the last thing that I was gonna say?
Releases.
Stop. Literally.
You're gay. That's what you were gonna say.
Okay, actually, I think now is a good time for a break. So we're gonna take a quick break, and we'll be right back. Welcome back. Here with Isabel and Natalie for Swift Artists. So Isabel, you are also an artist. You're a Swift artist.
I am.
So how has Taylor inspired your writing and your music and everything?
She just taught me to tell the truth at all times.
Okay,
And,
that's a really good lesson.
Yeah, being raw and honest, and like don't be afraid to be a bit of a raging lunatic at times.
That is honestly
and call
really
out
good
these
advice.
Men. Get them.
Well, actually, I had a note about that because I went through your discography today.
Oh, did you?
I enjoyed your song "Another."
Oh my God, that's like a deep cut.
Yeah, I went through
Underrated.
the discography. I listen to every song.
I love.
I love it because at the beginning, you what exactly you say? You say like this is a compilation or something.
Yeah, so I think I
pickup
say
lines.
something that's like, I wrote down all the crazy pickup lines guys have ever said to me in the end of a song, but it's funny because it actually like historical context. I had a phone in my notes. A note in my no, edit this out. I had a note in my notes app on my phone called "Most Bizarre Things Southern Frat Boys Have Ever Said to Me."
Okay.
But it's like just really whack things.
Yeah.
And a lot of them couldn't make it into the song because it would be not family friendly. But but I so I kind of made like a little. I just kind of listed out like all these things that guys would say, and I kind of made it a song that like could be like from the guy's perspective. But then I was like, this is so creepy. Like I have to preface it because people are gonna think I'm a lunatic. So like the hook is like, if you give me one night, I guarantee you'll beg me for another.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
It's like a little.
Yeah. Yeah.
Gross. But it's like it's just very like. It's just like ick, but it's like kind of me taking the power back.
Well, but the little like context at the beginning is such a like it makes you excited for the song. Like, oh, we're about to get something juicy.
Yeah, and then the one line in there that is not like a real guy saying it to me is a line from Barney Stinson from How I Met Your Mother.
Okay.
And the line is, "I don't want to wait 17 dates to wake up at your place." And it's funny. It's the episode where J-Lo is guest starring. And he like meets this super hot woman at a bar, and she's like, "And that's why I'll never sleep with a guy on the first date." And like he always wants to sleep with a girl on the first date, but he's like, "Oh, of course," because he's like trying to get with her. And she's like, "Or the second date." And he's like, "Okay." And she's like, "Or the third date." He's like, "Okay, what?" And he goes, "How many dates? Would you just tell me how many dates?" And she goes, 17. And then he passes out. He falls off his bar stool.
Oh, what a reference.
But yeah,
Oh
I
my
love to call
goodness.
out these men.
Yeah, deep cut. Okay, so also I had a question about Watch Out For. Can you say who that's about?
Yeah.
Okay.
My mom and dad.
Okay. I figured just based off the cover art, but it was really sweet. I enjoyed
Those are
that
just a
as
couple
well.
randos. I'm just kidding.
That one.
My parents' wedding photo. Yeah.
Okay, yeah, I figured it. Low-key like gave me Parent Trap vibes, minus the ripped picture.
Well, I didn't have to trap them.
That's good.
They trapped me into my own existence by creating me.
We'll get into that. Okay, so Another is a part of your first EP, Darling.
Yes.
The song Jordan Belfort. I had to look up who that was, but then I was like, oh, Wolf of Wall Street.
Yeah. Have
What?
you seen that movie?
I have not.
I actually just watched it again the other day.
Great movie.
It's a great movie. It is like the most misunderstood movie, I
Okay.
think. Because like a lot of these little frat boys, I keep saying it. Like, no, the first time I ever watched that movie, I was at a frat house. Like sitting with like 10 dudes. And they were like, "This guy's the man." Like, "Oh my God, he gets all these like Margot Robbie looking women and makes bank." And I'm like, "Yeah, you know where he goes at the end of the movie?
Yeah, like
Prison."
like, isn't the whole point that he's like a
Prison?
bad
Death.
guy?
Yeah, and the movie is based on his memoir, which the point of the memoir
I
is
didn't
like
know he
a
had a memoir.
cautionary tale. Like,
Okay, yeah.
do not do this.
Yeah.
And I have regrets. Regrets. I've had a few. But yeah, anyway, that song, it's about the movie, but it's also like a metaphor for this guy who's in my life who like treated me similar to the toxic ways Jordan Belfort treated his wife, Naomi.
Oh, okay.
And there's and like a lot of the literal things aren't literally what happened in my life. It's more like the movie.
Mm-hmm.
And there's also some there's a Taylor Swift reference in there too, because it was also kind of like a Dear John situation, you know, that song. And I have a line in there that says, "Look at yourself, Jordan, babe. You got a sick need to give love and take it away." And there's a scene in the movie where Jordan is like snorting coke from a mattress in a couch, and she goes, "Look at yourself, Jordan. You're sick. You're a sick man." And then there's a line in Dear John where she says, "Maybe it's me and my blind optimism to blame, and maybe it's you and your sick need to give love and take it away."
Oh my goodness.
But with the coke thing, it's family friendly. I don't know, but one of my favorite lines is because I'm thinking about like the cocaine in the mattress thing. It's like, and it's something about like this whole time the truth was under me when I was under you, because the cocaine's in the mattress. So it's like I have all these like little. I love that song so much. I'm so proud of it.
Yeah. No, I mean that's what songwriting is like taking all these little moments. So that's really cool that you kind of crossed over these two weird random references.
Yeah, and it's just like a big metaphor of like Jordan Belfort like getting money like in a really illegal, shady way, and it's like kind of like a metaphor of like women and money, because a lot of guys will like make that comparison and like treat women like an object of money and stuff like that.
Yes. I also really liked Smooth. That was a really fun one.
Thank you. That's fun. I love that one.
And then your second EP, Temptation. So is that biographical? I'm assuming it is.
To a certain extent, but a lot of it is fictional, but it's
Okay.
like based on real emotions, but not like always real like details of like scenarios.
Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah, because I have this one song, the opening track, and it actually has a part 2. It's called The Perfect Child, and it's about like a girl who grows up to leave the Catholic Church because of all these things she goes through. And like the hook line is like, she gave in to the temptation and she left the congregation. You should have seen her mother cry. She was supposed to be the perfect child, like big beat drop and everything. And I wanted to discuss lots of issues that I had with the Catholic Church, but I wanted to discuss it through the viewpoint of a character who like went through that. So like the character, gets like slut shamed and she commits like the mortal sin of like premarital relations, whatever. The character, gets an abortion, she's gay, and then I couldn't have everything happen to one character, so I literally made a part 2. In the beginning of the part 2, I go, now she had a sister who married a mister. And it like goes on.
Is that based on? I was like, is that based on your sister? Like,
No.
did you call your sister? Okay.
No, it is not.
Okay, I was like, man.
But yeah, because I put out a part 1 first, which was just like The Perfect Child, and it was like all it was is like a whole song.
Yeah.
And then I had a part 2 late after when the whole project came out, and it kind of continues on. It's kind of like, I guess maybe like an epilogue, but it was like more to the story that I couldn't fit into like just one character story. So I just had to weave in all these issues, I guess.
So was it like a concept EP?
Yeah.
In a way? Okay.
Yeah.
And did you have the idea for it before you released some of the songs on there? Or
yes.
No?
So
Okay.
actually, I think the first song I wrote for it was a song called Send Me Straight to Hell. And that's one of the first songs I ever put out, not the very first one, but earlier one. And that has a similar theme. And I think that's the first song that like really had that theme. And then I was kind of stuck on that theme for a while. And like that, because that song, it's like a little dark pop, and it says like, if heaven only lets me in, if I keep my hands off you, send me straight to hell.
Okay.
And like, his skin on mine feels damn divine, even if it damns me. Talking about like the eternal damnation of the church that's taught to women. And just how to like view their bodies and like their virginity as like a kind of like a prize that someone has to earn, and that like you lose a part of yourself when you lose it, which I do not believe. And I believe it's like super wrong to teach women that. But anyway, I wrote that song and I loved it so much in college, and I like played it at shows and showed it to my friends, and everyone seemed to like that. And then I kind of got stuck on this topic. And then I remember my best friend Sienna at the time, every time I showed her a new song, whether it was like blatant or like just one line, she always noticed, and she was like, I love how you like always reference religion a little bit. And I was like, I'm not even meaning to, like, it's just kind of on my mind.
Yeah.
I have another song, Alexa, that I think I wrote pretty soon after that one. And it's about like falling for a girl. And it's like not really very clearly about religion or anything, but I remember like I did have one line in there that I say, I'm in love with the way, I'm describing this like beautiful woman, Alexa. I say I'm in love with the way she ate the Prince Charming that heaven had in mind. So it's kind of like I had a lot of references to like just like breaking away from like this like end all be all of like holiness.
Gotcha. What do your parents think about the EP?
You'd have to ask them. I don't know. I think they appreciate it.
Okay.
But definitely like certain songs more than others. I do have one song at the very end of it that is religious. I was going to ask
about that, and I was very curious about it.
And it was funny because I have this one song at the very end that's like it shows that I believe in God sometimes in moments of like desperation. And it's like when you look at it on its own, it's like a religious song. Like you could sing it in a church. And I remember being scared because I was like, the very beginning of this EP is like very like bombastic, kind of like anti the Catholic Church. And then the end, it's like kind of like finding God. And I was like, I'm afraid my parents aren't going to listen through to the last track and see the progression and stuff. But they did. And I think it was a couple days after it came out, my mom texted me that she listened to that song. It's like the outro. It's called Carry Me Home. And she said it was absolutely beautiful and it meant the world to me.
Yeah, it is a very
beautiful
song.
The song is like, and it's kind of sad, but it's like, basically it's like, I can't do this alone. Carry me home. It's talking about like a God. And then it kind of like goes back to like the fact that I've been questioning that God like throughout the rest of the EP. And I say like, I don't know what I believe when I'm not on my knees praying to whoever's even up there. I'm sorry if it seems that you're only real to me when I need you desperately. Stuff like that. But then it ends up being like, it's just like about like getting through hard times, you know.
Yeah.
So, but
Yeah.
I feel like I had a nice journey of like maybe like character development throughout the project.
Yeah. I like that how you ended that. Yeah.
Thank
Natalie,
you.
what's your favorite song of Isabel's?
My favorite is probably Alexa.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's
I
fine. I was
remember-
trying to actually catch you off guard, and you had an answer. I'm so glad.
I remember she played Alexa for me for the first time before it came out. I had my own secret session with her in the car.
Yeah, we were on the way to
And
Dollywood.
We were on the way to Dollywood.
fun.
Yeah, and she played Alexa for me from like the voice memos. I think it was like the
Oh,
voice
yeah.
memos in your
Yep.
phone. I was like, oh, I really, really like this song.
Yeah. I
Yeah.
love having artist friends and being able to do that. Okay, I have another screenshot from your magazine article that I wanted to read. What's the most rewarding aspect of being a creative in your experience? I find it so rewarding as an independent artist to have full control over my work. Without a contract, you don't have to follow the rules of some random businessman in a fedora telling you what to do, like that imagery. You can choose what your own creative boundaries are, or not to limit yourself to any at all, which is something you mentioned that you appreciate about Taylor. I deeply value the authenticity of my work, so I push myself to write raw, honest lyrics that resonate with my experiences and beliefs. I never censor myself or cut out controversial takes for the sake of seeking popularity. Detailed confessional lyrics will forge a unique connection with listeners built on trust and candor. Man, this is really well written. I write what is on my mind, and my thoughts aren't always clean, simple, or popular. So, especially the beginning of you saying that it's very rewarding being an independent artist. Obviously, we are called Successfully Unsigned, and not every artist that we have on here has a desire to eventually be signed. But would you ever have that desire?
Maybe if the right deal presented itself to me, but actually,
You're like, no Scooter Braun, but
yeah, get out here, scoot. You can
Yeah.
scoot away. But actually, one thing I'm looking for now is a different type of deal, is a publishing deal.
okay.
I would love to professionally write music for other artists.
Yes.
And
yeah.
I'm not gonna say that's the only way to do it, but like when you become a professional songwriter, like you have a publisher, you're represented by someone, whether it's like a really small house or like Sony ATV. And for me, that would be the dream. But obviously, it boils down to the specific contract, and you'd have to read, between the lines and make sure you're not getting screwed.
Yeah.
But as far as a record deal, like that used to be my dream back when I was like, I'm gonna be Hannah Montana by the time I'm 14, or I'm gonna end it all. Yeah, I'm not sure I really want to pursue fully being an artist as like my full-time dream, but I'm not going to stop doing it. I'm very inspired by a lot of writers who like make their living writing music for like big stars and stuff, but also make their own music.
Yes.
For one example, you got a Katy Perry shirt on. A lot of her songs are co-written with this incredible artist, Bonnie McKee. And she makes a lot of like her living from like Roar and
okay.
I think, I don't want to say the wrong one, but like Teenage Dream is one of hers too. But she's also Bonnie McKee and has her own music on Spotify, and she's got a decent amount of listeners, those shows every now and then. But she's like a songwriter for Katy Perry, as well. I feel like that's my dream now. I listen to this podcast, And the Writer Is. It's hosted by Ross Golan, and he wrote Dangerous Woman for Ariana Grande. He wrote Same Old Love. He wrote that with Charlie XCX for Selena Gomez. He's written a lot. He's written for Flo Rida. But he's incredible, and he interviews like different songwriters that he's worked with, that he's friends with, and so many of them, like, they'll tell you that they wrote this big hit, and you know that hit, but you don't realize that they're also an artist.
Yeah.
And you look them up, and they're just like, they're a smaller artist than the big star they write for, but they do both, and that's what I would love to do.
And I feel like the first time I really remember hearing about people like that was Meghan Trainor, and being like, oh my goodness, like she made this, All About That Bass, which was like this song that was everywhere. And I was like, oh, but she's like written so many of these other songs that I know and love. So it is always kind of cool. It like kind of gives you the option to, if you're making great music for all these big artists, like you can kind of enjoy it to yourself and then release it to others, and then maybe one day if you decide to change your mind, then you now have the leverage to kind of release your own music and do big like she did. and just having those options. So that's really cool that I really enjoy meeting people that kind of have shifted their dream to that.
Yeah, and also Meghan Trainor has a big country hit too, "Road Less Traveled" by Lauren Elena. You know?
Oh,
yeah,
okay.
She co-wrote that one as well. Yeah, and a lot of like when I was a kid, I would get CDs and I would look through all the writing credits immediately, and I would write everyone's names down. I would Google them later. And,
Okay.
So, like you know who Liz Rose is?
Mm-mm.
She co-wrote a lot of early Taylor Swift. She co-wrote All Too Well, and then a lot of stuff on the debut album and Fearless. Like some of her big ones are "Teardrops My Guitar," "You Belong with Me," a lot. And she's an artist too. And she gives me so much hope because she's known for a lot of Taylor Swift songs and a lot of like other country songs now. I think I read something that she didn't even write her first song until she was 37. And I think she's in her 60s now. And she owns her own publishing company, Liz Rose Music. But yeah, a lot of like co-writers of Taylor's that aren't featured artists are also artists. Like Lori McKenna, who wrote "I Bet You Think About Me" with Taylor, is also an artist. But she's known for writing country music with 4 other artists. And even like Jack Antonoff, like we all know him. He's in Features, but like I am obsessed with Jack Antonoff. I love him so much. I did a presentation on him in college. But like a lot of these people have their own art under their own name as well.
Yeah.
Like even like it's not to shade if you don't. Like there's a lot of hit writers who cannot carry a tune.
Yeah.
Like I remember Natalie and I were both at the NSAI Awards, Nashville Songwriter Association International. I remember that. They're great. Shout out. But they had an award ceremony. They have one every year, but they had one, I think it was 2 years ago when Taylor won Singer-Songwriter of the Decade. Yeah, and she won that award and it was incredible, and she sang All Too Well 10 Minute before the tour started.
On the way here.
Yeah, and it was right before Midnights came out too, because I remember there was a big crowd of us outside, and like she posted the first TikTok for Midnight's Mayhem with me and revealed Mastermind as a song title. But anyway, what was I talking about? Oh yeah, so there was Singer-Songwriter of the Decade, and that was Taylor's award, but there was also Songwriter of the Decade, and that was Ashley Gorley, and he writes for a lot of country artists. And it was funny because he got up there in his speech and he was like, "You notice why they didn't ask me to sing? Because I can't." But he had, I think at that point he had just rung in like his 63rd number one.
Wow.
And now he's got a lot more. I think like 70 something, 80 something maybe. But I remember I was inspired by his speech because one thing he said was, he was like, "Songwriter of the Decade, it's a crazy award. Like a decade is a long time, 10 years. And he goes, but it's not as long as 11 years. And we were like, where's he going with this? And he goes, and that's how long I lived in Nashville working as a songwriter before I had my first hit.
Wow.
So it gives me hope. Because they do call Nashville a 10-year town.
I've noticed that. Like, I'm pretty new to the music industry, but like a lot of artists that we've met where I'm noticing they're starting to gain some traction, like they'll be like, "Oh yeah, I've been doing this for 10 plus years." I'm like, "Oh," so like to our audience, any of the unsigned artists out there, like, get ready because this is a long game. But if you really are passionate about it and love it, like, you can do it. And so, and I just want to say, I do really enjoy your song.
Heart.
Yes.
Believe in yourself.
I enjoy your songwriting, and just like even how you were dissecting some of the songs that we were talking about of yours earlier, like that to me shows a really special songwriter. And even the fact, I think you were meant to be a songwriter, the fact that you were doing that even as a kid, just let me write all these down. So it's really special. Also, I want to give a shout out to Julie Strawbridge. I gave a little shout out to her earlier. She's the one who came with me to Swift Artists. I think you guys should check her out because she's a philosophy major, and she is probably my favorite songwriter. Like she's from around here. She used to do a YouTube series called Internet Jewels, and she would be like writing a Billie Eilish song in under an hour, writing an Ariana Grande song in under an hour, and she would like take elements of their songs and make her own version. But she doesn't do YouTube anymore, but she is an incredible songwriter. And she has a recent album called Jokes About the Rapture that I think you would enjoy.
Oh, I feel like that sounds familiar. I'm gonna check it out.
Maybe so. And she loves Taylor Swift too. She dressed up as her and her boyfriend at the time dressed up as Taylor and Kanye. And it was perfect for Halloween.
Do you know of Chloe Duvall or Bella Garland?
I know Bella Garland. Yes,
Yeah.
I saw her at the 5 spot with my friend McKenna and Meet Me Out Front.
Yeah. Well, that
Yes.
what you were describing, Jules doing, kind of reminds me of some videos that the two of
Yes.
them post.
Yeah, Bella's getting some really good traction on
Yeah,
Instagram.
she does a lot of great mashups and stuff.
Yes,
too.
she does.
And Chloe is so talented. I love her voice.
Her vocals are
and
insane.
I love
Chloe.
her songs, All Your Other Exes, and I Don't Burn. She's great.
I'll have to follow
And
her
she
too.
writes, yeah, she's great. There's so many people.
So many.
They're great.
I know. I wish I could just we could just do like a
Maybe
whole
we could shout
thing.
out a couple more at the end.
Yes.
Well,
Yes.
you were talking about Becca Trimmel earlier, and I love her song "I Can't Hate You." Like that is
Yeah.
like, one of my
Yes, I think that won one
favorite
of our
songs of
award
hers.
things.
And I think she knows that because she's like, I'm about to sing one of Natalie's favorites at one of our showcases.
Yeah, we got a
one
number
day.
one Becca
'Cause
fan
I was
on
like,
here.
Becca, are you gonna sing that one that I really love? She's like, yeah. I am. Like I love that
I love
song.
Becca's music. Relapse.
And then
Crank
her
it.
Clay.
music video for Clay is insane.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Incredible stuff, Becca.
Yeah,
Yeah.
she's amazing. I also love Constellations and
Oh, yeah.
Wildflower and all of
You've
it.
heard of Swift artists. Soon we're going to start Becca artists.
Period.
Everyone
Period. Yes.
who loves Becca Trimmel.
Yes. Oh, also, I forgot. I wanted to mention. I love your song "Gingerbread." That was the first song I heard of yours.
Wait, really?
Yeah, because it was
Wait,
shortly.
That's not a good first
That's
impression.
a
No.
new one too.
That's
It
the
was-
corniest song of all time. Oh my goodness.
It's so fun though. It was shortly after I met
Best
you.
kind of men are gingerbread.
Yes, and the snowman verse. I love it all. So
It really is a good song.
it is. It is.
No, I remember. Okay. This is such an annoying memory for Natalie, probably, but we were stuck in line at Dollywood in like October. And I think you said something about like not wanting to listen to Christmas music that early. And I was like, I'm going to sing you this Christmas
did?
song I just wrote from my Google Doc. And like there's all these people around in line, and I'm like, Natalie, like, every single snow season.
Oh, I do remember that. I do
Tree
remember
glow.
that.
Now it's coming back.
I was like, Isa, please shut up.
Yeah. And you were like, it's not even Halloween. And everyone around me is like, what the hell's going on?
Oh, that's amazing. Okay, we're gonna take one more break, and then we're gonna come back and do our show and yell. Yay!
Woo!
Welcome back. We have show and yell. Okay, so I always say show and tell, but it's actually show and yell. So you yell your item, and we have one of our bigger items today. I think probably one of our heaviest items ever. And can you yell it out for us?
Well, what exactly do I call this thing? Hold on. What if I yell this whole description?
Yeah, it's the entire paragraph.
Sign
of Taylor.
Okay.
She stole this from her job.
No.
She got outed. She got outed. Ooh.
Okay, are you yelling now? Okay.
Yeah, yeah.
Taylor Swift Education Center sign from the Country Music Hall of Fame and Museum, Nashville.
You're probably the first person who's like actively yelling.
Ah!
I love it.
Hi, this is my item. And it has to do with my employer. I'm employed by this lovely Country Music Hall of Fame and Museum,
Love
which
it.
is in Nashville.
That's super cool.
And we have this incredible thing called the Taylor Swift Education Center. And guess who funded it? George Bush. No, I'm just kidding.
George Bush.
Taylor Swift donated $4 million in 2014 to start an education center.
That's
at the Hall of
wild.
Fame. And it's just like incredible. Like a lot of people come in looking forward because they want to see like her outfits on display, and there are some like exhibits in there.
Oh, yeah, that's
But it's
cool.
really an education center. There's classrooms in there. There's educational programs for children. There's a summer camp where kids learn how to write music and play
That's so
instruments
cool.
and things. And there's like a little bit on recording.
Mm-hmm.
Just the other day they had a it's funny, they call it an instrument petting zoo, where you go up there and you like touch these instruments and learn to play them and things.
Oh, that's so cool. That's cute.
They got arts and crafts up there. Like it's really cool initiative that my colleagues do there, and it brings a lot of school groups from out of town, different things. But it's funny, this particular sign I have in my possession, not because I broke it in the middle of the night, but because this shirt she's wearing in this photo, it says Country Music Hall of Fame and Museum Nashville. It's our logo. But it's like a little fun little bedazzled shirt that she designed.
see.
And we used to sell it there in like the gift shop. And all the proceeds would go to the education center. But that shirt has since been like discontinued. So this sign used to be in front of the shirts when we sold them, so people know that they were buying a shirt that Taylor wore. And but they were going to get rid of this sign, and my managers were like, I know who would like this.
That's so
The
sweet.
dumpster and maybe Isa.
In that order.
But yeah, so I love this little sign here, and I had to bring it home. I was just lugging it down the street back to the parking garage. But yeah, let me just read the little description here. It says the Taylor Swift Education Center offers an energizing and creative space within the Country Music Hall of Fame and Museum for its award-winning educational programs and hands-on experiences for visitors of all ages, made possible by the generosity of the artist herself.
She actually had that memorized. It is not on the back of that. There's only one side to this.
Yep.
That's so
yeah,
cool.
The Hall of Fame has a great history with Taylor, and Taylor has a great history with country music. And it's funny because I'm sure you've all heard people say, Taylor Swift's not country.
No, she used to be.
Yeah, she made a lot of country music history, and her Fearless album is the most awarded country album of all time. And
Really? I didn't know that.
She was the youngest artist with our song to go #1 with a song that she wrote.
Oh, that's such a good song.
And that one she wrote by herself, and she was 16 when that happened.
And you know, like, still when that song starts, people get excited. Like, they get really excited. It's a good one.
But yeah, and yeah, also the Country Music Hall of Fame, like, yes, it's for country music, but it's also for like music history in general. And honestly, nobody questions it when we have all sorts of Elvis Presley stuff. He's the king of rock and roll, and all his Grammy awards are for gospel, and he's in the Country Music Hall of Fame because he did do some early country. We have a kind of like a LA rock exhibit right now, Western Edge, and like not everything is like what you would think is pure country, but we don't discriminate against genre. We love genre bending.
Yeah.
And she's funding all these education programs for children.
Yeah.
So yeah, but yeah, one thing I got to experience with Taylor Swift and the Hall of Fame since working here was Taylor Swift weekend of the Eras Tour, when I got to go to the Rain show with Natalie. And that was the busiest and most profitable weekend in the history of the Country Music Hall of Fame.
Oh my goodness.
And it was terrifying.
I remember
being out
going
in the
into
front
the
lawn
gift shop and I
lines.
saw you working, and I was like, I want to go say hi. There's a line of like 50 people. Like, I can't.
Yeah.
That's
so
crazy.
actually, in the
Busy.
museum's history, we have days where we're very busy and we sell out the museum, but we sell out the museum the day of. This is the first time in history we sold out tickets to a museum in advance, and it happened, I think, 5 days in a row.
Oh
So
my
you could go online and be
goodness.
like, I cannot go to the museum that day because it's sold out entirely. And when we say
Man.
sold out entirely, I mean like up to like the fire hazard warning, very last person. And when you go in, you can't even walk through the museum because it's backed up all the floors and everything.
Oh my goodness.
So honestly, I don't think it was the best day to go because it was a little crazy. But it was because we had a pop-up exhibit for the eras that we had just for the month of May. And the shows there were May 5th, 6th, and 7th. And it was like a display of an outfit from each era.
Okay.
And we had a couple different things there. And another thing, I guess it's sort of another item I have, is all these friendship bracelets. If you're a Taylor Swift fan, you know friendship bracelets.
I do have 2.
Yeah.
And we cracked the code on this one that someone gave me at the movie. And what was it again?
Took the dagger in me and removed it from
Shout out
Tolerated.
to
it
the
took a
person who
while
gave
to
me this.
decode
It took us a while to figure it out, but we eventually
Yeah.
got it.
But yeah, so Taylor Swift fans trade friendship bracelets. And I will say this first before the haters come for me. I am aware that Taylor Swift did not invent friendship bracelets. We are all aware. We are all aware. But she made it really popular because of this one song lyric of a song that's not even on the set list. Like, make the friendship bracelets, take the moment and taste
Oh.
it. It's about
I didn't know
a
that's
song
where that
about
came
like
from.
following your dreams. The more you know.
And a lot of local artists are like cashing in on that. Well, I say cashing
Yeah,
in. They probably
very
aren't selling
trendy.
that many, but I know a lot of local artists are
Yeah.
making friendship
But I
bracelets
actually,
now.
I think I only made one single one of these. It says "slut." That's a Taylor Swift song title. It's not just a random word. But anyway, all the other ones were given to me by customers who came through the Hall
That's
of Fame
so
that
sweet.
weekend, and they noticed I was a Swiftie, and they just gave me these bracelets. We had such bonding moments, and yeah, it was a crazy time. And I remember the store like beat the record for what we made because we actually got licensed to sell Taylor Swift official merch, which is very hard to do. But
Whoa.
it was just for the month of May, and we didn't even last the whole month of May. Like we got
Right.
some things that were gone in 2 days. Like there was like a picture of the display table of what we could sell that went viral on Twitter, and like everything was gone immediately.
That's crazy.
Yeah, and the whole museum, like it was incredible, and it was terrifying, and it was great.
That's insane.
But yeah, and I just love like the education programs that we offer there, and it's a lot of it's because of Taylor and the funding she provided.
Yeah.
And like when you think about like I have such a great experience of like my own music education. Like I was a music major, I have a music degree, and I just look back on like all my teachers and everything, the great experiences I had, and even beyond just like music education, I feel like I don't know if you guys, you probably have this experience, like music helping you in general, like you know how you make up a little song to like remember a formula or some like.
Oh yeah, yeah.
I honestly,
We're doing the bone dance.
I don't know. I don't know that one, but I don't know if I would.
What?
I'm sorry.
Hannah Montana?
Wait, do it. Sing it again.
No, we can only sing it once. How's she not know that? And then Rico.
Am I uncultured?
Yeah, when she's in high school and she's like, I don't know
She has to,
anatomy.
Like, try to pass, like, her exam.
She's like doing different bones,
Is it
and
like
then it's
head,
like
shoulders, knees, and toes?
no,
knees
it's
and
like
toes
we're
type
doing
of
the
vibe?
bone dance. It's something we
it's
learn
in the
it.
tune of Nobody's Perfect.
Yeah,
Oh no, I don't
And
know.
she starts singing it in class, and her teacher thinks that she's cheating.
Yeah.
So she kicks her out, and then Miley leaves the room. Don't ask me how I know this. And
No,
then she
it was
comes
such an
back
iconic-
in,
yesterday.
like such an iconic episode, and then the whole class starts singing it, and I think the principal comes in at one point.
Wow, I'll have to watch that.
yeah, we'll have to show you the
And
clip
then she
after.
passed her test.
That reminds me of Taylor singing the States song on The Voice.
Oh yeah.
That was funny. But I was gonna say, like, I don't know if I would have passed my AP U.S. History exam if it weren't for "We Didn't Start the Fire." Billy Joel goes through all of his story.
yeah.
And it's like, why do I still remember the quadratic formula? Why do I still know my mother's
Yep.
library card number? Because I made up a little song in my head. But it's funny. Now I'm going to talk about topic of like school. I remember. So I will say some of my songs, I'm sorry, but some of them have a little swear words. And I remember during COVID, I went back as a substitute teacher at my old high school. And I got to work with some of my old teachers. And I remember going into my AP Stats teacher's room. I was like, "Hey, it's Easy Grogan, what's up?" And he like turns around, he's like, "Oh my god!" And I was telling him like what I was up to, and I told him I had music, and he wanted to find it online, and I was like, "Oh well, I don't know if you want to check it out. It does have some bad words in it." And he looks at me, and he was like, he has a big smile on his face, and he's like, "Of course, you're Isa Grogan. I wouldn't expect anything different."
Oh.
And he was like, "And you're an adult, and I don't care. That's great." I was like, "Yeah, thanks, Mr. Letstring." And then I remember telling my favorite teacher that I ran into was my music teacher. And he had like his student there with him, and he was like, "Can we look up your songs?"
Oh.
And I was like, "I don't know, because there's the F word." And he looks at me, and he was like, "Of course."
My choir
they know
teacher
me.
would. My choir teacher would do the same anytime when someone wanted to
I
sing
know,
a song. That
it's
was
crazy.
kinda
But like,
that.
yeah, a lot of my teachers, like the fact that they said that and they like knew me too well. Like one thing I loved about like the teachers in New York, which is a little different than teachers in Memphis, is like they would like roast me within an inch of my life, and I feel like that motivated me so well. Like I remember my APUSH, the U.S. history teacher. Like I remember, I have this like vivid memory of him being like, he wouldn't let you raise your hand. He would just call on you, which like you hated, but it made you better.
Yeah, that's true.
And I remember him calling on me for something I wasn't paying attention to. And he was like, "Grogan, it's like watching paint dry." And I was so motivated.
Oh my
And then at the end of the year,
goodness.
I had to go back and thank him and say that he was like one of the best teachers I ever had. Thank your teachers, folks.
Yes, teachers are underappreciated. Please do.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's really cool that you get to work there and like have a lot of connections. Maybe one day a connection to Taylor herself. Get her on one of the Swift artist shows. Like, how iconic would that
I want
be?
her to make an appearance.
Yes.
Tay-Tay.
Literally, that would be like. I feel like that's like the ultimate goal. You know, get her on one of them.
I'm gonna have a fry.
Please do. Okay, so I'm gonna we're going to have a game now. And we usually do a different game where we just name an artist and say if you would collab with them or not. But A, since Natalie doesn't do music, and B, we always end it with Taylor Swift, which obviously I know both of you would do anything with her. But we're going to do, I just found some website that has a bunch of Taylor Swift song quizzes things. Can you name the Taylor Swift songs that are just one word? There are 51 Taylor Swift songs
51?
that just have one word. And
We're working together on this?
yes. Okay.
Oh.
Go.
Babe, Ronan.
Oh, wait.
Me?
Hold up.
Oh.
Me. Okay.
Mine.
Wait. Babe.
Mean.
Hold on. Babe,
Babe.
Ronan.
It's not going.
Does
Am I
Ronan-
supposed-
Does Babe not count? Babe not. Maybe that's too old. Okay, Ronan.
Ours. Timeless.
Ronan or Roman?
R-O-N.
We're losing time because you can't type. Hello.
It's not working. I tried.
Okay, that's okay. We'll do.
Ah!
Me.
I did that one.
Me.
Mine.
Mine. Mean. Timeless. Ours. Ronan. Babe.
These are all the ones we've already done.
Okay, maybe this.
Red.
What?
Red.
Fearless.
Fearless. 15. 7. August.
You're making me nervous.
Wow.
Willow.
No.
7? You said 7?
Yes, 7.
Okay.
22.
Question mark?
Maybe because it's 2 digits.
Yep.
Yeah.
2 left in Fearless.
Oh my God.
Ah.
3 in
You're just making me
Reputation.
nervous.
Untouchable.
You're making me superstar.
Breathe.
Superstar,
Breathe. Stay is the same word.
Superstar.
Stay times 3.
Wait, Superstar. What was the other one you said? Not stay.
Slut. That's not what I said though.
I think this is too
Breathe.
old. It's not gonna happen.
Breathe and untouchable.
Well, it has all the way up.
Superman.
You got superstar.
Innocent. Haunted. What about your Speak Now vibes?
You're making me so scared right now.
It has all the way up to Tortured Poets. So I don't know why it's not accepting all of them.
Poets. Hello. What come on. I love this.
I love this.
Is it over?
No.
No, it has 4 minutes left.
What
It
about the
gave you
music?
6
I want the
minutes.
music.
6 minutes.
Oh.
Oh,
Damn.
thank you.
Okay. Invisible.
Oh, good fun.
Invisible.
Did it go?
These technical difficulties are
I
causing me
know.
stress.
We have to wait for.
I told you
we
it's a
have to wait
sketchy
for him to
website.
type 'em, and then we'll say the next.
Okay, there's 2 in,
If there's no spaces, I'm gonna get you back count?
I'm gonna get
It's
you back.
listed
I
as
mean,
one
there's
word.
spaces, there's
Peter!
spaces.
Not the
Peter.
Bolter. Peter.
Peter. Okay, there's 2 in 1989.
Style.
Yes.
Wonderland.
Clean.
Wonderland.
So there's 3 in 1999 then. Style,
Wonderland
clean,
is
and
not
Wonderland.
counting. Clean.
Wonderland counts? Are you kidding?
I don't know why it's not counting it.
Who invented this game?
It's a messed up website. Okay, there's 2
Call
left.
IT.
What?
I said call IT.
Oh. 2 left in Fearless. Maybe that'll help if I go album by album. There's Fearless, 15.
Breathe and Untouchable. I thought I already said those.
Oh.
And then superstar.
Yeah, get with it.
Breathe.
Sorry, I'm a guest here.
Why isn't?
Oh, Marjorie.
That's not fearless, but.
We're already done with Fearless. Evermore. Lover. We forgot about the whole album Lover. Hello.
Now they're all
Well, we got
done.
me. I'm scared.
Wait, what? Untouchable? Why did it not work?
It's a bonus track. Maybe it doesn't work.
Yeah, but
Oh.
it's not doing bonus tracks or vault tracks or any of that. Did it do
Probably
Timeless?
not. Timeless.
Did you just slut? Timeless?
Yes.
Slut has an exclamation point at the end.
I tried that and it didn't work.
Okay.
And Timeless isn't working.
Delicate. Dress.
Maybe it's just doing.
Is it over? Is it over
No,
now?
it's still
But
2
that doesn't
minutes.
count as words.
It's still saying 1 left in Fearless.
Crazier.
There's no way
count Crazy.
it's gonna be on that.
Revenge!
Maroon. We forgot about the whole Midnight's album. Is there anything we said on Midnight's? No.
No, we didn't say any
Glitch.
on that yet. Glitch. He's over there taking over.
This is crazy.
Oh my goodness.
It's like the further we get in, the louder she gets. It's like, oh my gosh.
Okay, one left on Reputation. It included Crazier on Reputation.
What?
Reputation? No.
Okay. Hello. Gorgeous.
Oh yeah.
That's it. Ooh.
Gorgeous.
Okay,
Good this game.
2 left in Lover.
2 left in Lover.
I said Lover and Me. There's more.
Lover. Me. Does the word "the" count? Like the man?
I think it does because there's a lot of those that I haven't been saying.
Yeah. 2
Um.
left in Red. 22 in Red.
Good Lord. Run!
God.
That's a
No,
vault
it's
track.
not
That might not come
that's
up.
a vault track.
But that should count, okay? It should.
It
Hello?
Should, it should absolutely count. 2 left in Red.
I'm so scared right now.
Me too.
No, I'm scared.
Good
too.
Lord.
2 in Speak Now. 2 in Red.
Treacherous! Goodness. That's a word I learned because it was Taylor Swift song. I was like,
A
13 when it
lot.
came
A
out.
lot in Folklore.
Oh, well, like
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
I said August. I said 7.
Mm-hmm.
This is the one.
30 seconds.
No. Ah!
You got 22 so far. Which
22
is
out
a-
of
it's a
51.
fun
This
nu-
is horrible.
Hoax!
I'm so-
Hoax! Peace!
Hoax.
Peace!
I'm so bad under
Peace.
pressure.
Is that
12,
it?
10, 9,
Give me a new one!
8, 7.
Mirrorball!
I'm not going to spell it right in time.
Mirrorball!
Oh, I got it. Okay. Just in time.
Okay, period.
made-
You got 49%. And the average
Oh, I thought you
score.
were going to say 49 out of 50. Damn it.
No, sorry.
49%
I
sucks.
thought she
No,
named at least
it
60.
says the
Just now.
average score is 47%. So
Period.
you
Oh
got
my
above
God.
average. You got 25 out of 51.
Nice.
So, okay, it's saying you were missing Change and Fearless,
Oh my God.
my
we
God.
forgot change.
Enchanted and Innocent,
Enchanted?
and Speak
What the
Now.
fuck? I said innocent.
Oh,
We
yeah,
played
you
the
did.
tapes.
Oh, you
No,
probably
played
did.
the
And
tapes.
there was so much yelling.
I want you to know that Enchanted is my favorite song on Speak Now, and because I was so nervous.
She couldn't think of it.
Okay, Starlight on Red, which I think someone may have. I don't
Yeah,
know.
No, I didn't say that.
Daylight.
That's
Daylight,
Oh.
my favorite song on Lovers.
Yep.
See, you were making me nervous.
You got all of Reputation, Daylight and Afterglow, Folklore, Cardigan. I knew there was one that started to see. Yeah,
Ugh.
Exile,
Exile.
Favorite song
Yep.
on Folklore.
Epiphany.
Betty.
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 Yep.
Betty.
Evermore. Oh, we missed a lot on Evermore. Happiness. Love that song. Dorothea.
Dorothea.
I can't.
Ivy. Marjorie. Oh, I
said
spelled Marjorie wrong. Okay, so they at least got
got
26.
50%.
You got
I said
50%.
innocent and Marjorie.
Okay. So
Marjorie is innocent.
Closure.
Justice
Oh
for
yeah.
So this
Oh,
was
I
user
love
error. So you got what 27 then. Bejeweled for Midnights, of
Bejeweled.
course. Karma, of course.
Oh.
Yeah.
Labyrinth,
Yeah.
Labyrinth.
Mastermind,
Ah.
Question.
Question.
They counted Antihero, which okay.
Fake.
For
that.
they had Tortured Poets and Tortured Poets the anthology. Oh, which I guess makes sense. So they
Peter. That's all I said. I think.
yeah, you just got Peter. So Fortnite, Florida.
Fortnite.
They counted
Oh, God.
Love of My Life,
So they
this is
probably
Ella
counted I'm
now.
gonna get you
Is
back
that
too.
an acronym?
Cassandra and Robin.
Get you
Okay.
back.
That's it.
Wow.
Okay. But you still got above average. It's really good.
That was good. That was really good.
Okay, so some smaller questions real quick. Do you guys have any like grail items as Swifties? I'm a big collector of things. So like Missy Ecker, she has the Speak Now ornament that I love. That
Oh, and that was on the
demonic.
show, I
Yeah.
remember.
She also has the doll. Is there?
probably
Do you
blocked
guys
from
like have any like
Any what items?
Swiftie items that are like, ooh, I just really wish I could get my hands on this.
Or something we don't have.
Yeah. Or if there is anything like really cool that you have that you want to shout out.
I mean, I have the OG cardigan. A lot of people have that, but a lot
Oh,
of
yeah,
people
that's
want
cool.
it.
I have the
the Speak
purple
Now
robe,
one.
and I've never seen anybody else that has that.
Wait,
It
what'd you
has,
say?
like,
The purple what?
The purple robe.
Is that for Speak Now?
Yeah.
That's
The
so
purple
cool.
what?
The see exactly. Nobody
who?
knows what it is.
It's a robe.
It's a robe, and
Wow.
it says her name and the font Satisfaction, which is what she used for
Oh,
debut Fearless
my
and Speak
goodness.
Now.
What? Oh,
Did she
that's
wear
so
it in Journey to
specific. Oh my
Fearless?
goodness.
Huh?
Did she wear it in Journey to
You know
Fearless?
the font.
I remember
That's
her wearing a
crazy.
purple robe.
in Journey to Fearless.
Okay,
yeah.
wow, that's
Where,
crazy.
So I
where did
have
you
that.
get it from?
I got it for Christmas umpteenth years ago.
She just like sold it online or something?
Yeah, it was on her store.
That's crazy.
I've
I don't
never
know-
seen anybody else that has that.
Okay.
Yeah, this
that's
isn't
really
very
cool.
rare, but I have.
You should send us a picture.
Oh, I have like
I will.
the little band from the Red Tour, and I have my Red Tour plastic bag from the merch table.
Okay, yep.
Not gonna wear that. And then one thing I thought was funny. You know the shirt she was wearing in the original 1989 with seagulls on it?
Oh, okay, yeah.
I have a funny memory. Like I remember getting that as a Christmas gift, and it was the Taylor Swift merch 1989 shirt, but it didn't say Taylor Swift. Didn't have a picture of Taylor Swift. It was a shirt she wore.
Mm-hmm.
I remember opening it Christmas morning, and I'm like, "Oh my God, it's a Taylor Swift shirt." My sister looks at me and goes, "Isa, those are birds."
And she was wrong.
She was right, and she was wrong.
Oh.
I really
Oh, I
want
see
the
what
They
you're
were
saying.
birds, but it was a Taylor Swift merchandise
Bubble
item
tea.
shirt with birds
It's
on
a
it.
blue shirt, and
With
she's
seagulls.
sitting down, and there's bubbles.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I've seen a lot of people have that, and I really, really want that. You know what I'm talking about? I call it the
Wait.
bubble tea.
Oh yeah, is it the Fearless?
Yeah.
Yeah, she's had a picnic.
Mm-hmm.
I love that photo.
Okay.
I want that.
I want that.
Real
shirt.
quick, can you guys rank your Taylor Swift albums?
I can't do it.
No?
Oh, no.
Well,
That's my
okay.
favorite.
Okay. What? Yeah. What's your favorite overall then?
Well, it's like a four-way tie.
Okay.
The thing with me is like her albums rank differently depending on my mood.
Yeah,
That's fair.
Yeah.
That's
Speak
fair.
Now was always usually number 1, but numbers 2 through what are we at now? 11, 2 through the rest.
Crazy.
We got like 87 albums.
Maybe by tomorrow,
two
12
through-
or 13.
2 through 11. The number 1, and then the
But
other.
yeah, I'm
11.
a folklore evermore girly.
Okay.
I would say I'm just
I
like
can see
a
that,
poet,
yeah.
but I'm also a tortured poet. So,
Yes.
and I'm also red.
Yeah.
Thoughts on Taylor Swift's 4chan conspiracy?
Her what?
What?
I know something about Taylor that you guys don't. I feel so
boy.
confident.
No, what's
Oh
it
my
called?
goodness.
The whole 4chan conspiracy.
I don't know what this
Oh,
Do you
no,
know
I
is.
don't
what
know
Tell
what
us.
Do you know what 4chan is?
Uh-uh.
Okay, it was like this really like messed up not messed up, but like there's just a lot of like creepy things that would happen on it. It was like the dark web, but without being the dark web. But there was a celebrity on there that was like, hey, I'm a really famous celebrity. Like, this is my account, but I'm not going to say who it was. But it was always clues that it was Taylor. And she posted like one like snapshot of her, and like I think maybe like her lips or chin below, and people were like, it's Taylor, it's Taylor. And she said, oh, I just got a new cat, what should I name it? And everyone said name it, I think it was like Meredith or something.
Mm-hmm.
And the next day, Taylor Swift announces that she got a new cat named Meredith.
What?
And everyone's like, it's Taylor, it's confirmed Taylor.
Wow.
You should look into
can't
it.
believe
I remember
I
like
haven't
Called
seen
we can
it.
hold
what
it.
is it, the 4chan?
4chan, but don't go on the website because I've heard it's scary. But
4.
look up 4chan Taylor Swift. Okay. Last thing, can I ask, like, what do you guys think about any of the criticism? Do you think any of the criticisms about Taylor today are valid, such as the private jet thing, the releasing a ton of versions to top charts thing, anything else? Do you think any of those criticisms are valid? I know I'm like starting a whole thing as we're wrapping
Yes,
up,
but they're not as valid as a lot of other things going on in this world.
that's a good like summary.
Yeah, period.
All right. Well, that's actually really. I mean,
The
yeah.
world has bigger problems, but it is good to conserve energy, and it's good to. Well, the vinyl thing, I guess that's also conserving energy,
Yeah.
making so many albums
Do you think the fandom goes too far sometimes?
every day of our lives. But I'm proud to be a part of it. But there's some things I'm not proud to be part of.
Period.
But in general, I love y'all.
Yeah.
Oh, well, thank you guys so much, Swift Artists. Thank you, Natalie and Isabel. And this has been so much fun. I feel like we've learned a lot.
you so
And we
much
even
for
taught you
having
guys
me.
something. We'll teach you the bone dance. We'll look up 4chan.
Oh my goodness.
We'll look
yeah.
at the robe. All kinds of things.
Stop the road.
And shout out
The
to
way
the
you
Boston
said
Red
that.
Sox.
Plug everything real quick. Where can they follow you guys personally or not personally?
Do not follow me home. Instagram. Is this music? Do I have to yell? I don't know.
No. You don't have to yell. You don't have to yell.
Okay, Instagram.
Yep.
I am Isabel. They'll in captions or whatever.
Yeah.
You'll find us.
EEZA.
Yeah, my artist name is my government name spelled phonetically because I'm French Canadian.
And
Everyone would
at
say it wrong
Swift
if
Artists,
not.
correct?
Yeah, at Swift Artists.
And
And then my Instagram is Natalie, 2 E's at the end, and then 102.
you can find out who she is. Follow us as usual at successfully_unsigned, at Unsigned Podcast on TikTok, su-podcast.com. Thank you guys so much again. This was so much fun, and we'll see you at the next one.
And thank you to our successors.
Thank you
Just
to our
named you.
successors. Yes, she
I
just
named
named our
all y'all.
fans. And
They're
thank
gonna
you to
change
the
the name next week,
Swifties.
'cause
Don't
I-
come for us.